Ladies and guys who like having sex with women and who like problem solving. Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet. This is the Kill Your Inner Loser show. Let's fucking go. This is a really exciting topic, something that I'm super passionate about. But before I get stuck into it, I want to give a bit of a caveat because I can see people taking this the wrong way. I did a podcast on a similar topic a while ago and I had a couple of people email me and they completely took what I was saying the wrong way. So what we're going to talk about here is how having sex is often problem solving or requires problem solving. It requires you to solve problems. Sometimes girls will want to have sex with you, but problems will come up. Maybe her roommate is home or something, or maybe she has work in the morning. Maybe she's nervous and shy. Maybe she's worried about what her friends will think. Maybe she wants to kiss you, but you're in public. Like those sort of things that come up. We're going to talk about how to solve those problems. But what I want to make damn clear is I am not telling you to make people have sex with you if they don't want to. I think that should go without saying, but people still misinterpret this shit and they misinterpret it in a very uncharitable way. I am not telling you that you can sleep with every girl. I am not telling you that every problem can be solved. I am not telling you that every single girl wants to get on your dick and she's just making silly excuses and you can just convince her and push her into having sex. That is not what I'm saying. I can't believe I even need to have these caveats in here, but again, people misinterpret this stuff. So let's make it damn clear not every girl will sleep with you. Let's make it damn clear that sometimes they will give you a problem and it's a genuine problem and it's her trying to tell you, listen, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to have sex with you tonight. But women, generally speaking, won't be that blunt. So sometimes they will make an excuse and sometimes you'll solve that excuse and she'll give you a few others. And then at some point you realize, okay, she's just given me like 5 excuses and I've solved all of them and she keeps giving me more problems, more excuses. At that point, I would stop and say like, hey, like, if you're not feeling it tonight, if you feel like we're moving too quickly, you don't really want to have sex tonight or fool around or anything, that's fine. Just let me know. Like, is that how you're feeling? Are you sort of feeling like you want to wait till next time? If she goes like, yeah, I am, to be honest, you go like, yeah, that's fine. Like, why don't we'll hang out for a little bit. We'll call it a night. I'll walk you back to your car or the train station or whatever. This was a lot of fun. I really had fun. Let's see each other again sometime. Like, what are you up to on Friday? Or, you make it clear that you're not angry, that you had fun, that you want to see her again, that it's cool that she doesn't want to have sex. You basically don't push her. I feel like that should go without saying, but let's put those caveats in there. What we are going to talk about here, where I talk about problem solving, is when it's clear that a girl wants to have sex with you. And now, if you're in the beginner stages and you have no idea if she actually wants to have sex with you, and you're just like, Andy, everything you just said, how the fuck do I know if she's giving me an actual reason she doesn't want to have sex, or if she's just kind of like giving me a problem that she wants me to solve? One of the easiest ways is to just fucking ask her. I say this all the time. Stop trying to mind read. Stop trying to figure out if she actually wants to have sex. Like I said, solve 1 or 2 of her problems. If she gives you like two problems, she says, oh, well, I have work early in the morning, so like I can't really come back to your apartment because I got to be up at like 6 a.m. If you solve that problem, and I'll tell you how to solve these problems in a second. If you solve that problem and she goes like, yeah, okay, I'll come back to your place. Cool. Now she wants to have, it's obvious she wants to have sex with you, right? She gave you one problem, you solved it, and she's like, yeah, cool, thanks, you solved my problem. Great, awesome, I'd love to have sex with you. You've made me relax now. I don't have to worry about getting up early and I'll tell you how to solve that in a second. But if she gives you a few problems and you solve each one, let's say by the time you get to the 3rd fucking problem, right? If she gives you 3 fucking problems and you solve all of them and then she hits you with a 4th one, at that point, I would do what I just said before. I would stop. I would say like, hey, like, do you not like not want to go any further tonight? Because like no pressure, no stress. If you don't want to, just say so. Like, it doesn't bother me. We can just meet up again another time when you feel more comfortable. But do you like not want to come? Do you like actually not want to come back to my apartment? Are you just trying to be nice and you're trying to give excuses, but really like you just don't want to come back? And then sometimes the girls will say like, yeah, yes, thank you for asking. Yes, I didn't want to be a bitch, but I don't want to come back to your apartment. It's too fast for me, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Like I said, if you've solved several of her problems and she gives you another one, at that point, just have a fucking conversation with her. Ask her how she's feeling. Be real with her. Keep it real. Show that you're not butthurt, because at the end of the day, why would you be butthurt if she doesn't want to fuck you? You can just try again the next date. You have unlimited tries. Any girl that's seen you for a date or a couple of dates will see you for another date. As long as you've had a decent time, you guys have had fun together, you haven't pushed her too much, you've been respectful. She said like no a couple of times, like she's given you a couple of problems and you've gone, yeah, it's fine. Like, don't stress. Like, we can meet up. Girls will fucking see. I'm telling you, they will see you again. Don't stress. They will see you again. You can try again the next time. And guess what? If she doesn't sleep with you on that date, try again on the next date. Have unlimited tries. I promise you, you will eventually get laid. You need to relax a little bit. None of what I'm telling you is to get you to sleep with every woman on the first date. Like, it doesn't work like that. Some women just won't sleep with you on the first date. Now, the more advanced and experienced you get with this shit, you get better at making it clear you get better at screening. You get better at figuring out which girls want to sleep with you on the first date. You get better at communicating, like, hey, listen, I'm going to sleep with you on the first date. Like, we are going to sleep together. If you meet me, like, it's for sex. You get better at that, but that's more of an advancing. I wouldn't stress too much about that for now if you guys are at the newbie phase. So let's get into it. Why am I doing this podcast? Where did this come from? One of the guys in the group coaching program that I'm doing, he posted and he said a girl that he had over that he slept with, she basically gave him one problem. Like, he invited her back and she said, I don't know if I have time. Like, she said she had dinner plans or something, and by the time the dinner plans finished, she didn't know if she had time. And so what he said was, I kept something in mind that you had said to me before about problem solving and solving girls' problems. And I said to her, no worries, we'll be super quick. I promise that, like, I'll have you back in time. And she said yes. And they went back to his place, and he said, if I hadn't heard that from you, Andy, I wouldn't have said that to her. I would have just let it go and said, she doesn't have time. So I want to make it really clear that a lot of the time, like in this case, so he ended up sleeping with her, girls want to sleep with you, but there are just hurdles in the way. I mean, a big part, what you find the further along you get with this stuff, the more you get laid. A big part of getting laid is like logistics, like having good logistics, having a place to have sex with her. She's not on her period. She doesn't feel too shy. She doesn't have work in the morning. You don't have work early in the morning. She doesn't live too far away. She has a way to get back home afterwards, or you call her an Uber, or she sleeps on your couch or in your bed or whatever. Like, there is so many logistics and variables that have to be aligned in order for you to have sex with a girl. There's a lot. I've only listed like 10 there. There's not hundreds, but there's like 15 things that have to go right? Just to be into you, all of that kind of stuff. A lot of the time, it is your mission to solve the problems, especially if she makes it very clear she wants to sleep with you, but she's just hesitant, or she's worried about something, or she's concerned about something, or she's nervous about something. Again, obvious caveat, not every girl is going to sleep with you, but when a girl makes it really clear that she wants to sleep with you, she's really into you, she's giving you the right signal, she's enjoying hanging out with you and stuff, but she has like a simple like hurdle for you to overcome, it's your job to overcome it. You get mad credit when you do overcome it. You look like a fucking masculine man. You look like a guy that has his shit together. You look like a problem solver. You look like the guy with the plan. All of that shit. It works in your favor for sure. Don't get defeated when the first hurdle comes up. So I'll run through a couple of like examples of stuff that comes up. Maybe she says, I don't have time. So you can do what this guy says and you say, we'll be super quick. And by the way, that doesn't just apply to having sex. Sometimes you will say to a girl, hey, let's meet for a coffee. Like, you seem really cool. Let's grab a coffee. And she'll say, I'm super busy this week. I just don't have time. And so you can problem solve that and say, okay, what if we're super quick? Do you have even just like 30 minutes? We'll just literally go to Starbucks, sit down, have a coffee, 30 minutes, get to know each other. We'll end it right there. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. It'll be super chill. I can't tell you how many times girls have said to me, I'm super busy. I don't have time. I say exactly what I just said there. Let's just meet for half an hour at Starbucks. Let's meet in the center of the city so you can just grab a train straight there. Or I've even had dates with girls on their lunch break. They'll be like, I'll say like, do you have a lunch break? We'll just meet for 15 minutes. Where's your work? You know, you work in the city. I live in the city. I'll come to your workplace. We'll go grab a coffee, 15 minutes. At least we get to know each other and then we can end it. I can't tell you how many girls have said yes to that after initially saying, I can't because I'm busy. So That's what I'm talking about when I say problem solving. It's not forcing every girl or making every girl have sex with you or go on a date with you, but it's like as soon as they give you a problem, you should try and solve it. And again, like I said, if you try and solve like 3 or 4 of her problems and she just keeps giving you more, at that point, there's a deeper thing at play. Like she obviously doesn't want to meet you. She's not that into you. She actually is busy and you're just kind of, not picking up on that signal, which fair enough, you don't pick up on that signal until you try 3 times to solve her problems. But a lot of the time she wants you to solve that problem. And the date thing is the best example I can give. I can't tell you, like I said, I can't tell you how many girls say, I don't have time. Okay, do you want to just meet for half an hour? You grab a coffee, you hang out for half an hour. Now you've put in some FaceTime. Now that's your first date. Great. Yes, you're probably not going to fuck her. She literally doesn't have time. Although sometimes they will say they don't have time. They meet you for a date. And then after half an hour, you're like, I'm having fun. Like, do you want to come back to my apartment? And she'll be like, sure, I guess. And then in your mind, you're like, but I thought you didn't have time. Like sometimes people just say, I don't have time because they feel stressed and busy. It's another way of saying I'm busy, I'm overwhelmed, I have a lot of work or a lot of university and stuff like that. So sometimes they will actually meet you and come back and sleep with you. But if not, a lot of the time you will just meet for half an hour, have a date. You put in some FaceTime, maybe you invite her back and she's like, no, like I said, I'm super busy. And you're like, yeah, no stress. That's cool. We should do this again. This was fun. You meet her for a second date because you've already put in FaceTime. She already knows you. She already likes you. She's willing to come on a second date with you. Now she will prioritize you. You're not just some random asshole in her phone. You're not some random fucking nobody, some random number in her phone. You're a real life human being that she has interacted with and put in some FaceTime with and gotten to know even just for half an hour. Now she's going to prioritize you. Now when you say, do you want to have a proper date on Friday and grab some drinks? She's like, yeah, of course, because you're cool, because I like you. We already met. I already know you're a normal, nice guy. And when I say nice guy, I mean that in a good way. You're a decent guy. You're a good guy. So putting in that FaceTime is always going to be beneficial. Don't take I don't have time as an excuse. A lot of the time, that's just the person saying I'm stressed. And so your answer is like, no worries, let me do it so you're not stressed. Let's just have a half hour and I'll make it as easy as possible for you. That's another thing I should say when we're talking about problem solving. Try and make it as easy as possible for her as possible. She's giving you problems. Try and solve those problems for her. Sometimes you will get that when you say to a girl, do you want to come back to my apartment? She was like, I really don't have time. And so you can say, I say this all the time. A similar one is I have work early in the morning, so I can't, or I got to get up early for the gym. You can say, let's be super quick. What if we're super quick? We'll literally just be like half an hour. We can mess around a little bit, have a bit of fun. And then I'll call you an Uber home. How's that? Like a lot of the time you'll say that and she'll be like, yeah, but as long as it's definitely half an hour. You're like, yeah, I promise. A lot of the time what I do is I get my fucking phone out. I'll go like, yeah. I'll set my alarm. I'll say like, what time do you need to, what time's the latest that you'd want to be home, like at home, ready to go to bed? And she might be like, okay, 11:30 p.m. And then I'll say, okay, you're half an hour away. So you want to leave at 11. How about I set an alarm for like 10:45? And she'll be like, yeah, that would work. And so I'll literally in front of her get my fucking phone, set my alarm 10:45, hit okay, there you go. That alarm is going to go off at 10:45. Now guess what she can do? She can fucking relax. You have solved her problem. She can chill with you. She can have a good time. You can fuck, you can mess around, or you can even just hang out longer on the date. It doesn't have to just be sex, but you can hang out and chill for a little longer and she can relax. She doesn't have to have that anxiety. You are helping her. You are solving her fucking problem. She doesn't have to sit there and go, oh my God, I feel anxious. Like, what if I'm too late, but I got work in the morning? It's like you're letting her release that tension so she can be more wholeheartedly involved with you. She can give to you. You two can be intimate together. Again, that doesn't have to just be sexual. It can just be a date or hanging out. But you guys get to actually fucking merge together and enjoy each other's company without her half in her head going like, oh my God, I'm going to be late. I got to get up early for the morning. Blah, blah, blah. It's like she knows, hey, he's setting an alarm right in front of me. That's probably the best solution to that problem of I have work in the morning or I'm busy. You set a fucking alarm. You say like, would this make you relax? If I set this alarm for this time, would that help you relax? And she'll say like, yeah, thank you. That's really nice. I can't tell you how many girls say like, that's really nice of you. Like, thank you for doing that. Because most guys don't do this shit because they're not thinking in terms of like solving problems in order to have sex. They're just like, but I want to fuck you. Can we fuck? They just kind of ignore her when she says a problem. And first of all, that's fucking retarded. But second of all, it's not going to get you to your problem. And third of all, it's not very nice to her. Like, she's literally given you a problem. You can't just like push that problem aside and say like, that doesn't matter. You're essentially saying like your thoughts and feelings and emotions and the things you care about and your fears and like the concerns you have, they don't fucking matter. Fuck your feelings. Like, fuck what you're worried about. Have sex with me. That's not the way you want to interact with women. It's not the way you have a lot of sex. It's certainly not the way you emotionally attached to women and build a connection and have a good time and keep them around and add to their life and all that sort of stuff. If you want to have good, engaging sex on an ongoing basis with the girl, or even like just a couple of times, you have to solve her problems. You have to listen to her fucking problems and then solve them properly. Not just push them aside or ignore them or demean them or tell her she's an idiot for having, or be like, don't be silly. That's not solving the fucking problem. I see that sometimes in the Red Pill and places like that, where they'll just say like, dismiss her problems. Just ignore her objections. No, that's not how you create a happy relationship, even a casual relationship. It's not how you have an ongoing thing. It's also not a good way of treating other human beings. Ignore their fucking problem, just push it to the side. No, for fuck's sakes, especially when it's not that hard to solve their problems. You just have to stop and think and put yourself in the mindset of every problem has a solution. I will look for solutions, not problems. I did a podcast called Look for Solutions, Not Problems. I'll leave a link in the description below to that. It goes into this concept in more detail. But every time she gives you a problem, immediately start, like, don't look at the problem. Start thinking, how do I solve that? What's the solution? What would be the solution? There'll be 10 solutions to every problem. Can I brainstorm what those might be? And brainstorm them with her. Like, actively say like, oh, what if we try this? What about this? Like brainstorm them with her. Show her that you're listening, that you give a fuck about her problem, and that you want to solve it. Because at the end of the day, you do want to solve it because you want her to have a good time with you, don't you? You don't just want to stick your dick in her so you can say, I fucking fucked a bitch, yay. You want her to have a good time. I know all of you listening want the girls that you sleep with to have a good time, or you wouldn't be listening to my content. I would have already screened you out. You wouldn't like me because I talk about girls having a good time, caring about their problems, caring about them, emotionally connect. I talk about that shit, and that would turn you off. So you already are on board with the concept of her having a good time. So start thinking in terms of, she wants to sleep with me, but she just has concerns, or she's worried about something, or she just can't let go of something, or she's a little neurotic or anxious about something, or she's not overthinking, but she's thinking about something, she's worried about it, or she wants this problem to be solved. And start thinking, I will help her with that. I want us to have a win together. I want us to both come together, sleep together, have a good time. We love each other's company. This is amazing. We build each other up. It's great. We form a connection. We fuck each other's brains out. We have crazy kinky sex. I want all that stuff. I want her to have that stuff. Let's do that together. Start thinking of it in terms of like, it's her and me on the same team. It's not me versus her. I did an article on that. I will link below to that. It's called It's Not You and Me. It's You and Me, Not You versus Me. I'll leave a link, like I said, in the description below to that article. And the gist of that article is you want to start thinking of girls as being on your team. Like, you're both working towards a goal together. In this case, it's just having a good time, building a connection, having sex, like intimacy, a relationship, like whatever it is you want. You're building that together. And so when she gives you a problem, don't think of it in terms of a combative thing. I see this a lot with, Red Pill can do it sometimes. Pickup artists do it sometimes. Like a lot of guys will do this sometimes. A lot of like getting laid and relationship advice will do this. Women do it too, by the way. Like females give each other this advice as well. And it's fucking awful, where they have this like combative mindset with the opposite gender. And I see that a lot. It's like, she's trying to stop me from having sex, and I want to have sex, so I have to like beat her. I have to win. I have to overcome her objection. It's like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? You both want something together. You both want sex, intimacy, affection, to have a good time, good stories, adventures. Like, you guys want that together. Work towards that together. Help her get there with you. Don't try and take sex from her. You're not trying to conquer her. She wants to fuck you, but she's just nervous or worried or anxious or has hurdles or whatever, and you're going to help her get there to that point where you're both having fun. Think of it as you're both getting to a point of happiness and intimacy and sex and crazy fun. You're getting to that point together. It's like you both get to go to Disneyland together. She's just nervous to go there, and you're solving the problems and helping her get to Disneyland, to the promised land. So let's go over a couple of actual problems that can come up, or hurdles that can come up. And these are ones that I have solved myself. Like, I can give you some actual examples. So one is a girl that I met in person and I slept with like within a couple of hours of meeting her. And we had already made out. We were in a park. We were kind of making out in the park. And I said, like, do you want to come back to my place? Like, we were both kind of tipsy. We'd had a couple of drinks at that point. We're having fun. I'd played with her tits in the park and stuff. And I was like, come back to my place. And she said, I can't. I'm seeing my friends in a bit. And so I said, okay, what time are you seeing your friends? And she said, like, 8:30 or whatever the fuck the time was. I said, well, my place is like 15 minutes walk from here. What if we walk to my place? We'll be super quick. I promise we'll be super quick. Then I'll call you an Uber. And she's like, yeah, okay, as long as we're super quick. So we walked back to my place. We fucked each other's brains out. We were super quick. I called her an Uber, stuck to my word, called her an Uber, and she was on her way. And so that was a girl that said, I can't have sex with you. Like, I literally, not I don't want, I cannot. And that was just a problem to be solved. I will throw in, always make sure you stick to your word. So if you say to a girl, we'll be super quick, don't then spend 2 hours having sex with her. And so she's late for her friends or her party, whatever. That's you just being an asshole. Stick to your word. Your word is important. If you say to a girl, we don't have to go all the way. Why don't we just make out a little bit? Don't then try and fuck her. Don't push her to fuck you. You said you were just going to make out with her. Sure, once you make out with her, you can say to her, hey, do you want to try a little more? Like, do you want to have sex tonight? And sometimes she might say like, yeah. Other times she might be like, no, like, as I said to you, I really don't want to. Just be like, yeah, no, that's cool. Let's keep making out. This is fun. Like, don't break your word. Your word has to mean something, especially as a man. Another example is I've had this a lot with shy girls, especially Asian girls from Vietnam, China, who like have come to this country, who don't live here, who just are visiting, where they will say, like, you try and make out with them in public, and they will say, I can't kiss in public. And so I have solved this problem. One girl in particular, I kind of just threw it out there. I was like, well, do you want to come back to my apartment? And she was like, yes. And I was like, wait, what? Okay. And we go back to my apartment and we make out. We didn't fuck that night, but we fucked the next day or the next date. So sometimes that works. Another one, there was one girl that just didn't want to make. I tried multiple times. She just was like, I'm sorry, I can't kiss in public. Like, we just look like whores if we do that in our country. Like, nobody kisses in public. Nobody even really holds hands unless you're married. Like, I'm sorry, I can't kiss you in public. And she said, what if we go to the movies? And so I was like, okay. So we go to the movies, we sit up the back, and we just fucking made out for like 2.5 hours. The entire movie, we're just making out. I fingered her. She was like rubbing my cock and shit. Like, we're just doing crazy shit. But she just couldn't kiss in public. I had another girl that I just took her somewhere quiet. We went to a quiet park. I showed her, like, we looked around. I was like, look, there's like nobody around here. It's just us. Like, do you want to kiss me? And she kissed me eagerly. So that's a very easy one to solve. Like, I can't kiss in public, or girls being shy to touch you. Because this will happen sometimes. You try and hold a girl's hand, maybe you try and kiss her, maybe you try and touch her on the date or whatever, and she just won't. A lot of the time, that's, she's just hesitant to do so on the date. But if you say like, hey, do you want to come back to my place and chill? Do you want to have a drink at my place? Do you want to watch a movie at my place? Do you want to do something at my place? They'll be like, yeah, sure. And then you can fuck at their place or just make out, do whatever you want to do at their place. So that's a very easy problem to solve. Another very easy one to solve is I'm on my period. You can easily solve that by saying like, what if we put a towel down? Or you can say like, I don't care, like, we'll just put a towel down. Does that work for you? A lot of girls will be like, yeah, sure. Like, as long as you don't mind the blood, easy, done. You can also do it in the shower. A lot of girls feel more comfortable in the shower, especially if you have the lights off. Maybe you put a candle on, you dim lights or something like that, so it's like nice and dark. That makes them relax a lot more, and a lot of them will have sex with you that. If you just say like, do you want to just go in the shower and fool around? You can also say, you can do everything except sex. So you can be like, that's cool, we'll just do other stuff. I've said that a million times. So you just, you get a vibrator and you play with it over her panties so she can keep her panties on. She still feels pretty for you. She feels sexy. She doesn't feel like dirty and, all that sort of stuff. You can just make out. You can get a blowjob off her. She can give you a blowjob. She can give you a handjob. There are so many things you can do. And that's the exact sentence I say sometimes. I'm like, there's a million other things we can do that don't involve your pussy. Or like, we don't have to have sex. We can just do other stuff. So many girls will be like, yeah, as long as you're okay, as long as you don't mind. And you're like, yeah, I don't give a shit. So that's a very easy problem to solve. Another one is I'm nervous or I'm scared or, I just don't, I'm not ready yet. That's a very easy one. You just say like, that's cool. What if we go like super slow? You can tell me what you like. We can try some stuff. We can just make out if you want to. If you feel like we're moving too fast or, you want to slow down, just say like, we're moving too fast and that's it. I've done that with a bunch of girls. A bunch of them like will in the moment say like, can we slow down a bit? And you're just like, yeah, cool. Like, chill. What do you want to do? Like, let's chill a little bit. And you just hang out, you'll cuddle for a bit. Maybe you keep making out. Maybe you just play with her tits. You can even say like, what stuff do you want to do tonight? What stuff do you like not want to do tonight? You can kind of talk about that. It's not a big issue unless you make it a big issue, but that's a very fucking easy problem to solve. I'm nervous or this is going too fast or, any of that. That's so easy. You just say like, like I said, we'll just try some shit. We'll just go super slow. You can tell me to slow down if you want to. That's fine. And keeping in your mind what I said, you don't have to have sex with them on that date. Like, you have infinite retries. They will go on another date with you. especially if you're fucking respectful and you don't push them and they say, I don't want to have sex. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. I don't care. Like I said, you look like a man who has abundance at that point. You look like you have his shit together. You don't look like a needy, like desperate simp who's like, oh my God, I need pussy. Oh my God, I have to fuck you. Please, I'm desperate for it. You look like a chill guy who's like, yeah, that's cool. And so most of the time, 99.9% of the time, they will fuck you on the next date. I actually do that a lot with the BDSM girls that we sleep with. Like the girls that we see for BDSM, I should say. A lot of them are like really nervous and haven't done any BDSM. So they will give me these objections. They will say like, you know, I'm nervous to do anything. Can we go slow? And I'll just be like, yeah, we'll just try some shit. We'll go like super chill, super slow. There was a girl recently that we saw like a couple weeks ago. I've probably told this on a podcast before, but she did the classic like problem, so to speak, where she said essentially like, because I said to her, do you want to come to the bed? Like we were on my couch, my girlfriend and I were on the couch with her, and I said to her, do you want to come into the bedroom and we can try some different stuff, like, try some BDSM stuff? And she was like, I don't know, I'm just like, is it okay if can we maybe like see each other for another date and get to know each other a little more after this? And I said to her like, I mean, sure, but like, you're nervous, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm nervous and I don't know if I'm ready yet. And I was like, you're probably not going to feel ready yet, to be honest. Like you're doing BDSM. It's scary. Like it's intimidating. You're probably not going to feel ready. If you wait till you're ready, that could be forever. And I'm happy to wait. But like, do you want to just try some other stuff? You want to just try like, because she was also nervous about she'd never like done anything with a girl. And so I said, do you want to just like try some other shit? Do you want to just make out with my girlfriend? Do you want to just like kiss Imogen? And she was like, yeah, I'd like that. And so she jumps on top of her. They start making out. We ended up playing with her pussy a little bit. We got the vibrator, put it on her pussy, stuff like that. We didn't have sex, sure, but we did like everything else. We fooled around a lot. And so this was a girl who was like, can we see each other for another date? Can we get to know each other a little more? And like, that's her basically just saying, I'm really nervous and I'm scared. This is scary shit. So the answer to that was like, well, what if we just go really slow? Or what if we just like try a couple of things? We didn't have to do BDSM and shit. We can just go super slow. She was happy to do that. We had a lot of fun. We saw her again and we did some more shit, more BDSM and shit like that. I taught her how to spank. I spanked her myself. We tied her up. We did a bunch of shit like that. We're going to see her again on this Friday. So by the time you guys watch this, it would have already happened. We're going to fuck her brains out again. It's going to be fun. So this was a girl who said like, I'm not ready yet. That was the problem. And it's like, well, what if we just go super slow? And she was like, yeah, that sounds nice. A lot of the time, like I said, there's a very clear, if you're still watching this and thinking, but how do I know if it's a real problem and like she actually doesn't want to have sex with me, or if she's just kind of like giving me a little problem that she wants me to solve? The answer is, like I said, you solve the problem and she goes, yeah, sure, that sounds nice. That's how you know that it was just a little problem. And sometimes, like I said, maybe she'll give you another little problem, you solve that, and then she'll go like, sure, okay, let's do some stuff. Let's fool around, let's mess around, let's do some shit. But if you try and solve a couple of problems, maybe 3 problems, and she gives you more problems, at that point, just take a step back, chill, just be like, okay, like maybe you don't want to have sex tonight. Maybe you don't even want to make out or anything else. Let's try again next time. Like that's not a big deal. Like I said, you have unlimited retries. You can always sleep with her on the next date. It's not a big deal. Chill out. You have plenty of tries. Sleep with her on the next time. So I hope this has helped. I want you guys to have that mindset of there is always a solution to every problem. When she gives me a little problem like this, it's my job as the man to solve the logistics, and so we can have a win together. We are going to that Disneyland, to that promised land, to that place where we have fun together. She wants me to help her with that. It's my job to help her with that. And if she doesn't want it, like I said, you try and solve a couple of problems and she goes like, no, she gives you more problems. Okay, like that's fine. Just try again the next time. Have a conversation with her and be like, hey, it looks like you don't want to, do anything tonight. I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to be a dick and keep pushing. Should we end the date? Should we just go chill out for another half an hour and just walk around and shit, and then I'll walk you back home? It doesn't have to be the end of the world. You get unlimited retries, but most of the time what you're going to find is when you get one of these problems, if you solve the problem, you end up having sex. And when you get good at solving these little tiny problems, again, not big problems like I don't want to have sex with you, that's a big problem, but like a little problem like, but I got to get up early, or I'm seeing my friends in a little bit, or I'm nervous. Once you get good at solving these problems, like holy shit, you get laid like infinitely more. The girls will be way more into you because you had that right mindset of like, let's have a win together. Let's have fun together. Let's work towards something together. Let's both have a good time. I want to help you have a good time. You want to have sex with me. I want to have sex with you. We want to be intimate. We want to have all that good shit. Let's get there together. That mindset shift, and when you can operate in that mindset, holy fuck, the girls are way more into you. They love you to pieces. They're like, you're like no man I've ever met before. You actually solved the fucking problems. You care about my feelings. You didn't just dismiss my problems and push them to the side and tell me I was being silly, or tell me not to worry, or any of that stupid shit that people say, that guys say to try and have sex. You actually solved the fucking problem. You helped me relax. You helped, like, I can trust you now because you actually worked with me. You listened to my fucking emotions and my problems. Holy shit, like, the sex is way better. You get laid way more, obviously, because you're solving problems and you're getting laid a lot of the time when you wouldn't have gotten laid. But I will add in the final caveat again and say, if you don't end up sleeping with a girl, it's not the end of the world. Please don't take this shit as me telling you how to sleep with every girl, or how to solve every problem, or how to have sex with every girl on the first or second date. That isn't what this is at all. A lot of girls won't sleep with you. It will take a couple of dates. They'll be nervous. You'll solve a problem. They'll give you a couple more problems, and you'll go like, okay, I think she just genuinely doesn't want to sleep with me tonight. You'll say that to her. She'll say like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just, I just don't want to tonight. That's fine. You will sleep with her on the next day, or the next day, or the next day. You have unlimited tries. Please stop looking at it like, I have to solve every problem and I have to fuck every girl, and I'm not an alpha male if I can't fuck girls as quickly as possible. It's like, calm the fuck down. Just wait a couple of days and you will end up sleeping with her anyway. 99.9% of the time, especially if you're fucking respectful and you listen to her problems and you don't push her past a point of like, okay, now you're just being an idiot. Maybe you solve, like I said, 1 or 2 or 3 problems and she still gives you another. Okay, calm the fuck down, chill, don't keep pushing. Yeah, go out there. As always, guys, crush your goals. I will throw in, this whole discussion came up from my group coaching. So if you want to join the group coaching or one-on-one coaching with me, I'll leave links in the description below. Yeah, and go out and solve some fucking problems, guys.